Anglers, welcome back. Great to see you back here at the channel again. Kurt Smits. Just wanted to talk about tournament fishing. Let's talk about when is it time to load up and move. When do you know when it's right to move? Man, you gotta answer that for yourself. You gotta fish it to where you feel comfortable, man, because it's all about how you deal with the day and your mental attitude. So if you're in an area where something's wearing you out, the motorboat traffic, and you mentally, it's getting to the point where it's affecting your fishing, that's the time to move. The bite's so slow and it's starting to mentally affect your fishing where you're not carrying as much to make that good cast. To have your finger on the line to feel those subtle bites. If it's that slow, move. Don't fish an area so much that you basically really stop fishing. Let's face it, a lot of times in kayak fishing, we're fishing multiple bodies of water for one tournament. You'll be able to pick between let's say three lakes. And my example is going to be the Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail we just had last weekend down here in Southwest Ohio. And we got to choose between Winton Woods, Cowan Lake, and Stone Lick Lake. And so you have an opportunity to actually pick up and move lakes there. Not just to pick up and move to a different part of the lake, but to move to a different lake. And to know when to move is really hard. And there really isn't a right answer, right? There really isn't a clear defined answer. For me, there was, right? So I go to Cowan, I got to my area that I'm gonna fish. I'm fishing wood, I'm fishing shallow, I'm fishing exactly like I like to fish, I'm throwing exactly like I like to fish, and it's in an area I didn't get to pre-fish, so I don't really know how I was fishing up until the day of the tournament that I was there, but I have fished there in the past, so I do have some history there. It's a place that I've caught really big fish in the past, but you don't always. Cowan, Southwest Ohio, Cowan's no different than any other lake. With COVID and everything else that's going on, in 2020 and 21, with the uptake of everyone fishing and taking up outdoor sports, we've seen a tremendous amount of pressure on the lake. And sure enough, every fish I caught had 5 hook marks that you could see in its mouth. So the bite was a little tough, but I was fishing the way I'd like to. I caught my limit early. I was leaving that area and I was going out. And I like to fish some offshore stuff for my later in my day bites on Cowan Lake. And I just noticed how much pressure there was. And everywhere I wanted to fish, Cowan Lake's only so big. People fish it all the time. There aren't really secret areas there. There isn't some little hidden gem there. The points on the main lake are the points on the main lake, and they're very obvious points there. And there was just tons of people on. So for me, when I came out to the main lake, I just saw how crowded it was, and I had just talked to Bird, got this, my buddy, and he was telling me how he left a spot because it got crowded, and I was just like, man, this just isn't for me, right? And that made it easy for me, because I was just like, I don't want to fight the crowds, and I don't want to fight and try to weasel in, squeeze into a spot that 2 or 3 people are on already. So I just said, and it was like 10 o'clock or something, so the tournament ends at 3, so I had some time left. I said, it's time for me to leave. And that's how I made my decision to leave. And when I left there, I lost an hour of fishing. To load up, to drive the 25 minutes to Stone Lick Lake, which was the other lake I went to. But when I saw how crowded Cowan was when I was coming, on the main lake area, mentally that would have wore me out to be out there fighting position. So for me, the right choice, and it was easy for me to make, was to go to Stone Lake. And just hope, hey, if I go there, I'll just catch, even if I just catch one bass, and it's a decent bass, and I get an upgrade, I'm good. And man, sure as, I say how stingy it is, Stone Lake is, but sure as I say that, as soon as I got there, within casting distance of the ramp, I caught 5 fish. Now they were all like 12s and 10s, and they were tiny fish. But I just started catching fish all over the place, and none of them had size there. I caught 16 or 15 fish total there, but one did have size. One was an 18 that upgraded I think like a 13 and a quarter I had or something. So it was a pretty big upgrade, and it was enough to push me into 5th place for the series. And in this instance, switching spots dramatically paid off for me, because I don't think I could have gone to those other places that had been fished so heavily and pulled out a quality fish. Now, when I got to Stone Lick, there was only 2 kayakers there. 2. So there was like virtually no pressure on the lake from other than 2 people. And it's one of those lakes that there isn't like a prime location on it, I don't feel like. I feel like it's just you fish all the wood around the lake, and you're gonna catch fish kind of like here and there and here and there and here. There's shad in the lake, and they're all over the lake. The lake's really close to the same depth everywhere. It's kind of similar everywhere. So it's one of those type of circuit lakes, I like to call them. So guys, I hope that this little bit of information can help you guys out when you got to make that decision when it's the right time to move. It's not an easy decision, but you know, if it keeps you in the right mental attitude to move, to keep catching fish, I think it's worth losing that hour or so of fishing time to make a move. I've been known to move a few times, so I hope this helps all you anglers out, man. I'll see you guys out there.